Hello, we're here at the historic Mapleton Community Garden again. This is early July. This is about July 5th, and the garden looks quite different than it did when we first started. So we're going to enter the garden and look at some stuff that's going on out here today. I've been working on the garden, I guess, since about early March coming out here. We started with planting. We got out here early, got some tomatoes in the garden, even though we had some trouble with the tomatoes. But as you can see, everybody's garden is starting to look good. This person here has a pretty busy garden of beans and tomatoes here with a little watermelon here coming around. Different gardens are at different levels. As you can see, this person here chose to go with tomatoes. So we have a beautiful, beautiful bountiful of tomatoes in different colors. This is one of my favorite called, I think, Sun tomatoes. They are small tomatoes. They've done what they're going to do. They turn a beautiful yellow to a bright tangerine color. Tangerine is the color of the season anyway. And some pretty tomatoes here. And we've been trying around. We have some beautiful sunflowers. A honeybee is there. As you can see, the sunflowers. This person didn't do too much with their garden, but they did get some really, really pretty sunflowers. And what you can do when this is done, if the birds don't get all of the seeds first, harvest your sunflower seeds, roast them and eat them, or you can save your seeds for next year, come back, voila, you have sunflower seeds and you don't have to purchase them. That's the easiest way to go, is to be a seed saver. And I'm going to show you one of my favorite gardens out here. This one, I'm not going to say whose garden it is, but it's not mine. It's a little puny, as you can tell. We have a little bit of squash that fell off. We have a little bit of cucumber that looks more like a, I don't know if that's a cucumber or is this, yeah, it's supposed to be a cucumber, not a watermelon. But they didn't do much work. And when we come on over here, this is the garden I highlighted the first time I came out here. If you remember, these were squash plants, but we have such a problem here in Georgia with the squash vine borer. I think that's what happened here. Some people will say it wasn't the squash vine borer, squash vine bug, but I think so. But other than killing off the squash, this was a great, great garden. And even in July, this garden has already started to do its thing. And as you can see, this is something we can't control. This is going to happen near the end of the growing season. Once the tomato gets to be so big, it's going to start to die out. That's how you can tell we're getting into the growing season. At this point, you might want to go ahead, start some new tomato plants so that late in the season, you'll have tomato plants starting all over. So this is getting near the end, and you start with some new plants at this point. So that way you keep your garden going. Even have some beets right here. These are beets. I love the beets. Easy to grow, cute little beets, okay? And he had a whole row of them here. Come on down. Great little tomatoes. These are a little different from the ones we saw earlier, a little bit bigger, a little bit darker. These people had a pretty good garden as well. Lots of big tomato plants here, lots of peppers here. These look to be yellow, turning yellow bell peppers. And I will admit, here's my garden. My garden has a lot of peppers here. That's just getting started. I have a big pepper there. Here I have an eggplant. I think Renee's been out here and harvested some of our eggplants. And I had problems early in the season because I put my tomatoes out a little too early. So my tomato plants didn't do as well as I thought they would do, but they're okay, they're coming back. But what I really wanted to show you guys is what we call the planter row for the hungry here at the garden. And this is a garden that's worked by volunteers. They put the seeds out, they come out here, they water, they also they harvest it, and we have volunteers that take the food to the food banks all around Atlanta. And as you can see, we have a harvest of tomatoes. One of my favorites is this tomato. It's kind of I call it the heart-shaped tomato, because it's a beautiful, look at that, isn't that beautiful? Yeah. That's one of my favorites. And I'm going to show you another tomato that's one of my favorites as well. If you come over here and look, these are so beautiful. They start out purple, turn green, and then come back to a bright purple again. I swear, one of my favorites. I can't remember the name of this, but I know I'm going to steal some of these tomatoes, not to eat, but just to save the seeds. Okay? Because if you see something like this that you really like, the main thing is you got to save the seeds, because I don't know what this tomato is, and I've never seen it in the store. So if I don't get these seeds, then this tomato could go kaput. I think Larry said that this is something from his, because he did most of the seeds out here, I think. But this is from his collection, but I don't know what it is. But I know that I'm going to take some and save the seeds. But I love that purple color. And if you follow me on through, I'm going to give you something really, really coming through the garden here. I want to show you something really, really nice. Big surprise. And here it is. Here it is. Look at it. Look at this. This is a pumpkin. This is a pumpkin. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? It's a special pumpkin. But as you can see, what I really want you guys to see here is that the garden is starting to die off. And this too is, I think, because of the same thing, the squash vine borer. But these plants were all huge and big just a few days ago. And as you can see what's happened here, we have all the pumpkins that are here lying around. It's like a pumpkin patch almost in October for Halloween is what it looks like. You can just come out here. But I don't want to stay in here too much because there's so much here and I don't want to step on things. So I'm going to go ahead and take one of these rows and exit out. But I did want to also show the pepper plants. Beautiful, beautiful pepper plants. Beautiful different peppers here, all different kinds. This is quite unique as well. Quite unique. This is a variety of squash, and as you can see, this squash vine is still growing. And the reason why this squash vine, I think, is still growing is because it's a disease-resistant squash, so it has the ability to kind of uphold itself a little bit better than some of the others. Moving on down, this is our planting row for the Hungry Son to let people know exactly who we are and what we do here. Behind that, we have quite a few of the okra. Okra plants are growing quite well, looking really good. And the thing about okra is, if you don't harvest them it's so hot out here, excuse me. If you don't harvest the okra plant often, you're going to find that it can grow overnight. On a hot day, especially if we've gotten some rain, it'll literally grow overnight. So you have to go ahead and harvest your okra. If you see it about this long today, it'll probably be about this long the next day. And you want to harvest okra before it gets too big, because if you wait until it gets too big, then it's not edible. It's really tough. But if you follow me on through the garden here, passing the pumpkin again, we come to yet another area of peppers. Most of these peppers, as I said, was planted by this really nice guy out here. His name's Larry. I met him. He's really into seed saving. But this came from his collection. Can't remember the name of all of it, but this is a different variety, as is this one. I see a few peppers on there. Yeah, that's what these are going to look like. You come on down here. This is yet a different variety of pepper. It's purple and a little smaller and a little rounder. You keep going down here, we have yet another pepper, similar. I'm pretty sure this is a Thai pepper. Thai pepper, I've seen those before. Here's a different variety as well. These are kind of ornamental peppers. Really pretty. Something different here. Larry gave me one of those. I can't remember the name of that. And then we come on down. And even a different variety of pepper here. This looks like a habanero or something. But I know it looks really, really hot. So, this is basically our garden. Here we have some peas. The peas have pretty much done their thing. Peas are cool weather season. So these are sugar snap peas or English peas. And they've pretty much done their thing. I don't think we're going to get too much more out of them. And these are beans. String beans, or string beans is what we call them. And they, as you can see, grow up on a trellis. And they're growing like crazy. And that's most of our garden. This is most of it. These, of course, are... Oh, I think I'll stand right here in the shade and finish this up. But this is a nice, happy sunflower. And the sunflower is giving me a little shade. So you can see this is a very tall variety of sunflowers. Sunflowers get up to be sometimes as tall as 16 feet tall. And I think this might be one of those, the mammoth sunflower. So I hope you've enjoyed your time with me in the garden. Again, this is the historic Mapleton Community Garden here on Floyd Road. I'm a part of it. I have a plot. And I want to invite you to become a part of a garden in any way you can. Even if you could only just plant something on your patio or on your front porch. Plant something, grow something, eat something. Cook it, I say, from dirt to dinner table, which is mean plant it in the dirt, watch it grow, and then eat it on your dinner table. And there's so much you can do. Enjoy the bounty. Bye-bye.